What's poppin', beautiful people? Happiest of Tuesdays. Welcome to the channel. I'm Mrs. Best. We're here to go over our weekly review of 90 Day The Last Resort. This is season 3, episode 12. It's just dragging on, dragging. But welcome in to everybody who is here. I do hope you guys consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I am very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying really hard to fully monetize. And also, feel free to hype the video. It is a free and easy way to support the channel, but I appreciate you and I welcome anybody who's also watching the replay. Let's get the comments. I see that American Born 2 is here, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you, AB. These are the people in the Black Creator Spotlight. Tap into the links in the description of the video. I do have links to several creators. I can't remember which ones I put in there. There's a lot of things I can't remember as I've aged past 30 a little bit, but it's there. Yes, it is dragging. Yeah, I thought it was me. I'm like, this season is just going and going and going, and not a lot's happening. Like when I'm taking notes for 90 Day, like there's barely half a page notes. But regardless, I am happy to be here. Before we get started, I always want to say thank you to my amazing mods and moderators. You guys help. Y'all help us so much. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to AB, who is a mod who is here right now. But let's get into this episode. We leave off with, oh, Lord, I got the wrong notes. Hold on. We leave off with Thais walking off. So Thais walked off. She said, "Let me talk." I said, oh, Lord, they done caused this lady to go crazy. But I felt her. Shut up, John. God rest his soul. I wish my brother-in-law would speak to me this way. Okay. But he wouldn't. He would not. He let me talk. He let a lot of people talk, actually. He's very mild. But I just don't understand why, as a man, you're arguing with a female that don't belong to you, that you don't live with, while you have your own female and a baby on the way. You flew all the way from, I believe John is in New Mexico with Megan. You flew from New Mexico, United States, to London to argue with somebody else's female. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, there's no reason to be that involved in your siblings' relationships. There's just not. But after Thais stormed off, John and Patrick start arguing. And it seems like John just wants to yell. He's one of those people who thinks the louder he is, the more of a point that he is making. Definitely not true. The louder you become, the less we listen, because we're just, yep. That's what he's doing in our ears. And John is yelling, "I still think that Thais is lying." Okay, then tell John that. That doesn't give you the right to go yell at her. And even if she is lying, you don't know what she's lying about. And why are you so invested? You have a baby on the way, sir. It's just very, very strange. But Patrick ended up walking away from John as well. And I think that was the best thing to do. It's like, just walk away. With my siblings, I will walk away if I can. If they provoke me, I'm knocking them between the washer and the dryer. But I will walk away if I can. And so I do respect John for doing that. But their dynamic is very strange. And I still think John partially just wants to be on TV. I don't understand his accent because I looked into it. This is so random. I looked into it. John and Patrick have the same mother, different fathers. But the word on Reddit streets is that John, I guess, was older, so he was in Boston for longer. But I'm like, but if y'all stayed together, that doesn't make sense for your accent to be so strong. So I don't understand John. There's a lot about him I don't understand. But let's get into AB's comment. Is the season ever gonna end? It's been on TV since June 1st. And it's August. We've been here for two months and 2 weeks. I don't know if it's going to end. 90 Day in general, the franchise seasons go really long. I don't think TLC likes to not have 90 Day on TV. That's what I'm getting, because think of it this way. We got before the 90 days, and then there was another 90 Day that was on TV as well, 90 Day Diaries, and then that went away. Then we got 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day The Last Resort. As these prep to go away, we're going to get 90 Day The Single Life again. And then we're also, I believe, going to get something else that is being filmed. I can't remember what, but it does feel much longer than that. It does. It does. Now, before the 90 days, that stuff started airing in November. Me and James didn't stop covering that until April. So I'm like, whew, I don't know. Maybe this franchise of 90 Day will go long. We shall see. But Russ and Paola are doing a lot better. We will get to why later. And Rebecca is discussing that she believes the castle is haunted and she thinks that it is impacting people's marriages for the negative. And she wants to see a medium. And so she's going to participate with some of the other members on the cast to go and talk to a medium. Here's the thing. I am a child of the 90s, okay? So I just remember the trauma and the scandal that was Miss Cleo, call me now, all that type of stuff. So I don't really have the best relationships with psychics, mediums, and things like that. Now, if you tell me you're an astrologer, into some numerology, things of that nature, I'll buy it. But in terms of like the mediums and psychic, who's to say that the cast, the productions didn't just tell y'all what each person had going on for it to look like you knew what was going on when you really don't know what's going on. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm always weird about it, but I think it's so fun to see these reality stars play with the paranormal. I don't mind it at all. Now, the whole group is there with the exception of a few. Ziad wasn't there. Of course, Grumpy, Shekinah, and Sarper wasn't there. I don't believe Russ or Paola. No, Paola was there. Russ was there too. But there was a few people in the cast who weren't there. And Paola is freaking out because the medium connected some stuff about her father. So Paola says that she thinks that she is the way she is and impacted in her relationships because her father abandoned her mom, and her family 25 years ago. So that was probably around the time that Paola was like raised with her dad, and then he just kind of probably was snatched away. I'm curious, and I know she probably doesn't know. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. The freeway is extremely loud, and I live right by it. But Paola seems to have some unresolved issues as it relates to her dad. And I'm wondering if that's why she feels the need to stay with Russ, even though she's clearly unhappy, because she doesn't want to abandon her family the same way her dad did. Even though it's two totally different things, maybe that's impacting her. But outside of that, that little raggedy medium session didn't give much. Of course, a castle that they have turned into a hotel where people were beheaded might be haunted. Like, of course. This is why they probably shouldn't turn it into a hotel. However, I'm also a weird person that would love to stay in a room with the paranormal. I'm that person. Me and Mr. Best would be slapping with the ghost, okay? We might make a friend who could play with our enemies when we get irritated. But nothing much came of the medium. After the group sees the medium, I'm not going to move on, actually. The one thing that did come out of the medium, Rebecca asked the medium if Ziad is cheating on her. I said, girl, you need a psychic to tell you the obvious. Can we blame her? And I'd like to remind everyone to do what Mrs. Best has been doing in her free time at the devil's hour, because I wake up unusually early. Go watch Rebecca's season of 90 Day Fiance. That lady catfished this man. And if we're being entirely honest, I'm surprised that Ziad is still around. I'm surprised because she sent him pictures looking like Kourtney Kardashian, knowing that she looked like what she looked like in person. And Rebecca is not an unattractive woman. I just don't think it's right to catfish somebody. It's not okay. So she's lucky this man is still with her. But I can understand her thinking he's cheating because she followed him to a parking lot and there was a blonde girl there and all of this stuff. And he's miserable and goes off driving for hours on end. And I do feel like there's more to Rebecca and Ziad's story than they're actually telling us, just because they don't really tell us much. They keep spiraling and going in circles around the same issue. Oh, he wants a wife. I don't want to be a wife from the 80s. And like, I'm tired of the same stuff. Obviously more is going on, but they're not, either the editors aren't showing it or Rebecca and them are not discussing it. But it's definitely one of the two. Now, the medium doesn't say that he is for sure cheating, but she says that he probably is because he lies a lot. He's a liar. She pulled a card and she was like, this card means that you lack the ability to tell the truth. I said, well, hot damn, let me find out if it was that easy for everybody to know if they were being cheated on, to where I could just go pay some lady, like as if I'm in Persona 5 Reload, I could just go pay a psychic and get a fortune and that's what it's going to be. Like, is it really that simple? One will wonder. One will wonder, y'all. One will wonder. Moving forward, Rebecca says that she has a lot to think about. And I also feel like, Rebecca, just listen to your gut. A woman your age should have intuition that's developed. If you think this man is cheating on you, then leave. And obviously, you two are miserable together. Like, I don't understand why couples that are miserable stay together. I'd rather you break up and admit you just living together for the money than to do this. But, you know, I digress. I digress. Now, John and Patrick, they finally have a talk. Patrick makes John understand you cannot yell at his wife, which is fair. And John does eventually apologize after he argued back and forth. He did apologize because he saw that Patrick is not going to let up off his neck, which he shouldn't, because even though they're divorcing in real time, that's still the mother of his child. John has to show some respect. John has to show some respect. He just does. And after he apologizes, he goes upstairs to the room with Thais because he's going to be going back to London. And he does not say hello to Thais. She just sits there. He comes in and he comments on them playing games and all of these things. But she explained to him, she was like, if you continue talking to me this way, you're just not going to be in my life or my child's life. Okay? And Thais, that's the right thing to do. I don't give a damn who it is. I am this way with my in-laws, though my in-laws are lovely for the most part. But once you give me hell, I don't care if you his brother. I don't care if you Mr. Best favorite uncle and auntie. Play with me once and you not in my space. But you can talk to him all you want. Stay the F away from me. So I'm not mad at Thais for that, because it's like, it's not worth it to argue with people if you know that it's not going anywhere. I agree with this comment, AB. The way that John was looking at Thais sit on that chair, I think he wants to hit it. I do. And I feel like Megan's attractive, you know, he likes Megan, but their situation is very toxic. For anyone familiar with John and Megan through 90 Day the Single Life, they are very toxic. But the way he was looking at that girl and was like, I was gonna say hello. You went from angry as hell and holding your ground about this lady being a liar to just being over it and giggling with her. You can't trust nobody. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Now, eventually John does apologize to Thais, but it's like, to me, your apology ain't shit if you had to be coaxed. Like, if someone had to say to you, hey, you did Mrs. Best dirty, you might want to consider apologizing. I don't want the shit. If you can't figure that out on your own, fuck you and your couch. That's how I feel. So I'm glad that Thais accepted the apology, but I also feel like John is probably a bigger issue in their marriage than we were able to see on this season. Lord child. Now, this was at the end of the episode, but I'm going to talk about it now so that we could get to Shekinah and Sarper uninterrupted. Paola and Russ are doing better because we learned in the car that Russ finally ate her coochie, and apparently he did it white. So Paola was able to get her first orgasm from him, it sounds like, in years. I would cheat. You're like, it's ridiculous. You have to celebrate that your dude went down on you. I just don't understand that. Things should go both ways. Things should go both ways. That's all I'm gonna say. And I find it odd that Sumit is dreaming about the sex therapist. We are gonna see the group go to sex therapy, but before we could get there, oh wow, what? American Born says Paola said that she faked the orgasm on the after show. Well, why are they not together? I don't be watching the after shows, and I need to. I need to find the time. But like, what? If you fake an orgasm, you probably don't want to tell the person you faked it for, but you probably really don't want to tell the world. But okay, girl. Lord, that is crazy. I need to find the after show and watch it. I definitely do. Is it the not the pillow talk, but the between the sheets? Is it that or something different, AB? Let me know. But Shekinah and Sarper are having a hard time getting this sex therapy. She's got this crazy wig on, and he asked Shekinah, he said, "Are you going to participate in therapy today?" And she complains and says that she doesn't want to. And she was like, "How about we just spend the day together and connect?" You're there for therapy. If you had the ability to spend the day together and connect, you would have fucking done it at home. But you're there for therapy. It doesn't make sense that you started shit with every person there, made a racially insensitive statement that applies to most of the people who've been on the show 90 Day Fiance, refused to apologize for it, are forgetting that you also first were the first one to try and do something to Thais. Like, I don't understand why Shekinah lacks accountability and why she's hell-bent on getting people to feel sorry for her. She's not even a professional victim, because to be a professional, you have to be good at something, and she's terrible because nobody can stand this lady. Nobody can stand her. And I'm starting to understand why. Now, Sarper is sick of her because she tells him that everybody is coming at her. I'm like, girl, bye. How are people coming at you when you haven't participated since the last time the group came at you and said, don't make those comments about immigrants? You can't still keep saying that everyone's coming at you when you haven't been around them. You refuse to go around them. You're so focused on not being around these people that you don't even give a damn to work on stuff with your husband. I would ignore them and just do the therapy for myself and leave it there. But instead, you want to sit in the room and sulk, which is something I really do not understand. And Sarper says, you really need to change yourself or you're going to lose me. And Shekinah tells the camera, she's like, he always threatens to leave the marriage if I don't give him what he wants. Bitch, you ain't been going to these, you ain't been participating. And he's been wanting her to participate, and he didn't threaten you to leave. Now he is, because it's getting a little ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. But I do see that Sarper is super detached from her. Like, he does not give much affection, and it seems like the only time he does is if it's been assigned as homework by the therapist and the experts in them. But she gets annoyed and goes in the restroom and is like, fine, I'm going to get dressed. Gets dressed, even though Sarper was like, I don't want to go no more. She comes out and she's happy-go-lucky after just throwing a fit and being in absolute tears. So Sarper's looking at this bitch like she has one flew over the cuckoo's nest, okay? He's looking at her like something is wrong and thinks that, you know, she might be a little kooky. He says, I'm worried. I don't want you around other people. I'm worried. And she was like, it'd be such a waste of a good outfit, and then tries to come up on him, kissing him and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, girl, you just threw a fit, had a meltdown, didn't give a damn about your marriage, was worried about these people. Now suddenly you're just magical. She was like, so I comply when he acts up. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you complied when he acted up, he wouldn't have looked at you with genuine concern and looked at the cameraman like, are y'all seeing this shit? Do we need to put her on a psychiatric hold? He was so concerned for her. And she doesn't understand it. He was entirely turned off. He says he doesn't want to do the sex therapy and they're not going. And I don't blame him. You threw this big ass fit about not going and then you just go in the bathroom and pop back out and you're just good. He was like, have you had too much wine? Like, what is going on? So I don't know where we go from here with Sarper and Shekinah, but I'm going to say this. In real time, we know that they're not together. Don't bring her back, TLC. I doubt TLC will bring her back, but I don't think any network should bring her back. I think that this lady is entitled. I do think something is wrong with her mentally. And if you don't want to be somewhere, then leave. You didn't break your contract and leave. You stayed thinking you could find a loophole to filming. And I don't know if she thinks that she's giving us a show or something, because that could also be it. I would hope that she's not just naturally this awful. Maybe she's thinking that she's giving us a show. But Sarper looked done. I'm done. My cat is done. AB is done. Okay, everybody is done with Shekinah. We all tired of it. We're all tired of her. And I don't dislike this lady, but if you're that miserable, go home. It's that simple. If I don't like something, I will go home. I've been miserable at jobs and walked off in the middle of a shift quietly and never returned. If you're miserable, go home. I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. But that is all I got, you guys, for this episode. Again, this episode of 90 Day Fiance did not give much. It gave very, very little. I did think it was funny as hell. Sarper, are you okay? The way he looked at her, that was funny. The next review I have will be a documentary review. It's been some time since I did that. This is a documentary that I found on HBO Max, but I believe it's also on Hulu or cable if you have it. It's the People magazine. ID Discovery investigates the University of Cosmic Intelligence, which is a cult. So I will have that review up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then what else do I have? On Thursday, I'll be doing The Valley, and then I'll be on James's channel to go over Next Gen NYC. And Friday, Married at First Sight will be up. But I appreciate you guys. Let me know if there's something you feel like I missed. Comment your opinions. Let's keep the conversation going, even when we're no longer live. Shout out to everybody who watches, subscribes, hypes, whatever you do to support me. I appreciate you. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Yes, yes, yes. You're very welcome, AB. Oh, speaking of which, before I go, shout out to the mods and a big thank you to you, AB. I appreciate you taking the time to help with the channel and all of these things. So you will be shouted out. You will be shouted out. But other than that, love and light to everybody. Thug life, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.